All right, so now we're going to be remoting into our EC2 instances, and this time we're going to be using a Linux EC2 instance. So it's a little bit different than remoting into a Windows EC2 instance. So this lesson is going to be if you have a Windows computer. So if you're starting from a Windows computer, then go ahead and follow along with this lesson. If you don't, if you're on Linux or Mac, go ahead and skip to the next lesson, and that will show you how to access your Linux EC2 instance from a Linux or Mac. So we're going to go ahead and start. There's two methods that we can use to access our Linux EC2 instance from a Windows computer. The first one we're going to use is only going to be if you have Windows 10 or later. So to see if we're able to do this, we're going to go ahead and just start by going to Windows R. We're going to type in PowerShell, and then we go to OK. Great, now we have PowerShell. So if we want to see if this method is going to work, we're going to just type in SSH. Great. Now if it shows this, then that lets us know that we can SSH from a PowerShell. If we do not see this, then that means that we need to use PuTTY, which we're going to go over in just a moment. So let's go ahead and create an EC2 instance. So for this EC2 instance, we're going to go ahead and go to EC2 and then launch. And then this should be pretty quick to create because we're going to stay the default AMI, which is Linux 2. We're going to stay the default instance type, which is T2 Micro. And then we're going to go to My Key. We need to make sure to select our key pair. Then we go to select existing security group, and then we select our My CCP security group. And then we go to launch. Great. And then we go to our instance here. And this is the one, it is pending. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and copy this address here. There we go. Now let's go back to PowerShell. So the first thing we need to do in PowerShell is find our PEM file. This is the mykey.pem. This is what we're going to be using to authenticate. So let's go ahead and find this first. So there are two ways that we can do this. We need to basically have this folder be where our PEM file is. So if we'd like, we can go ahead and get our PEM file, copy it, and then just navigate to this and then paste it in there so that way that it's listed there. Another easy way to do this is to navigate using the PowerShell. So in order to navigate to using the PowerShell, if we wanted to back up, so if I wanted to go up a level to cd/users, I can go cd/... and then that will take me to users. If I wanted to go back, so I know where my desktop folder is. It's going to be in, I have to go back into my user. So I go to cd back, and then I type tab, and it will automatically fill it out. So I go there, and then I do cd, and then I go desk, tab, and it will go to the desktop. And I have a folder called folder on my desktop. So I go to cd, fold, and then there you go. So if I look at this, this right here is the same directory as this right here. This is this folder on my desktop, okay? So I can verify that by going to ls, and then you can see mykey.pem is listed right here. Okay, so let's try to connect. We're going to go to SSH, and we have to do -i to put the I argument in there, and then we're going to go to my, and then hit tab, and then we want to make sure it says mykey.pem, that's our file, and then we hit space, and then we go to EC2-user. Really important that we have EC2-user. This is the default user that gets installed on this. So we have to hit @ and then I'm going to just paste that public IP address in there, and then hit OK. Enter. Unprotected private key file, and then it says this, it's required that your private key files are not accessible by others. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. So we're not able to authenticate because it's saying that this is not accessible by others, okay? It wants this to not be accessible by others. So I go into this folder, I go into right click and go to properties, and then I go to security. This is the mykey.pem properties. And then the problem that it has is that we have all of these users that have access rather than just me. So if I go to advanced, this is the default on Windows. It tries to inherit all of these for like the system and an admin group and things like that. So we have to first make sure that my user, which I'm logged in right now, is Evan. So it's listed as the owner. That's correct. And then next I have to disable inheritance, remove all inherited permissions from the object. And then I have to add, it takes away everybody. So I have to add myself back in. So I go to add, and then I go to select a principal. For me, I type in Evan. I know that that's my username. I hit check names, and then I hit OK. Make sure that I have full control. Hit OK. And then there you go. Now I'm listed as Evan. This is who I'm logged in as. You can always check who you're logged in as and make sure that you're the owner right there. So now I'm going to hit apply and OK. And then now look, there's not anybody else listed in there, just me. So I hit OK. And then now let's try this. So we go to, I'm just going to hit up, and it's going to try to SSH again. Okay, perfect. Now I'm just going to scroll down there. Look at this. Now I can type something like, who am I? And then there you go. Now we know that we're logged in at the EC2 user. So this is that EC2 user. So great. Now let's see how to use PuTTY. Okay, so to use PuTTY, I'm just going to go into one of my windows. I'm going to go ahead and just PuTTY SSH, download PuTTY. And then we go to download PuTTY. And we want to, I'm going to be using Windows since that's what I'm using right here. So go to the Windows installer, just install this one right here, which is, this is for my operating system. So download that. Okay, so it's going to open up a prompt for me to save it. Note where you're saving to. We hit save. Then we go to here, which is where I saved it. Let's go ahead and open it up. Great. Great. Okay, and just install here. Yes. Uncheck that, finish, perfect. Okay, so now we can go ahead and open up PuTTY. Okay, so an important note about PuTTY is that it uses .ppk authentication, unlike the .pem files that we've been using. So the first thing we need to do is create a .ppk file. So we're going to go ahead, and once we have PuTTY installed, you can either find it through the Start menu or go to Windows R, and then we're looking for something called PuTTygen, PuTTygen. Hit OK. Great. And now what we're going to do is we're going to load an existing private key file. We go to load. And then now we may need to change this from PuTTY private key files to all files. And then we go to our mykey.pem, hit open. It says OK. And then now we need to do save private key. Yes. And we go ahead and just save it in that file. We're going to call it mykey. Okay, now we can see here that we have a PuTTY private key in here. Great. So now we're ready to start using PuTTY. Okay, so now we're going to open up PuTTY. So we can Windows R and just type in PuTTY, PuTTY, and that will open up. You can also find that in your Start menu if you'd like. So what we have to do is we have to type in, for the host name, we have to type in EC2-user at, and then if you don't have it, we can go ahead and go into our EC2 instance, copy that public IP, and then go back into the PuTTY config, and then paste it in there. So it's EC2-user at, then here's the public IP, and now we're going to go ahead and save that. So why don't we go ahead and just call this EC2 instance, and then save this. And then one last thing we have to do is point it to that file, the ppk file. So we plus on SSH, we go down to auth, and we plus on auth, and then we go on to credentials. We go to private key file for authentication, and we go to browse, and then go to the folder where you have that mykey.ppk. Open that. open that. And now we should be able to hit open. And then it's going to say the host key is not cached. We're going to go ahead and either hit connect once or accept. And there we go. Now we are logged in. We can go to who am I, EC2 user, and then now that we know that we are logged in with this user from a Windows machine. Great. And it's a good practice just in case we have some time between this lesson and when you want to view the next lesson. It's always a good practice to make sure that the instance is either stopped or terminated. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and just terminate. There we go. Terminate that instance, and that should be it. Great. Now this wraps up the SSH from a Windows computer demonstration. Now let's move on to SSH from a Linux or Mac computer demonstration.